Hi, fans of high-quality entertainment. I'm going to be ranking and reviewing Paul McCartney's Driving Rain. Now, the thing is, I've already posted for my members albums after this album, like Memory Almost Full and Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. And I got confused for a bit, and that's easy for me to, at my age. And the thing is, I did a review of this. That's why there's a ranking on those videos for whatever I gave this album for a ranking. And I don't know what happened to the video. I must have accidentally deleted it, because I don't think I had posted it to YouTube, but I definitely had done a review of this, so I'm doing this one again. Let's start with the album cover. What is it with Paul McCartney and stupid album covers? I actually like this a bit, well, I like this a lot more than some album covers like Off the Ground, but still not the greatest album cover. So the very first time I listened to this album, maybe 5 years ago or more, it was a long listen, because this is a long album, especially when Paul tacked on the song Freedom to the original album of this. So this album is over 1 hour long. It is a long album. And that's one of the complaints that I've had about it, and other Paul McCartney fans, even if they like this album or love this album. But it really got me thinking and doing a little bit of research, because I think this is actually a double album, because Paul released it on vinyl as a double vinyl record. And because a CD can fit up to, I think, 74 minutes of music, this is just, I think, 62 minutes, around 62 minutes. So it could fit, the vinyl double album could fit on one CD, which I think was maybe a bit of a mistake, because if this was two CDs, then fans would realize, oh, this is a double album. But otherwise, if, people think it's just one album, on one CD, like I did for many years. This album gets, I would say, a lot of dislike from Paul McCartney fans, not all Paul McCartney fans. I know that at one point, Mean Mr. Mayo, a few years back, he didn't like this album back in the day as much. And he used to call it Thriving Pain, which I think is very, very funny. But he's changed his mind about this since then, and he does like the album a lot more. But I didn't really care for it. I thought it was way too boring and stretched out, and lost interest in it half the way through of listening to it. But over the years, I've just grown to once again appreciate the album. And this is also a pretty dark album overall, because it was recorded after Linda's passing, and he started up a new relationship, unfortunately, with Heather Mills. And there are a couple songs about Heather Mills on this. About You, I believe, is one. And the song Heather, I think that was, I know he's got a daughter named Heather, but I think that is about Heather Mills. And a beautiful song on about Linda McCartney called Magic. The opening track, Lonely Road, is about his, depression and everything, and after Linda's passing. From a Lover to a Friend. I didn't really care for that song at first. And just over the years, really listening to Paul's emotions in that song, you can really feel his emotions. So if you're not sure about that song, give it another listen and just really take in Paul's vocals. Driving Rain is a really, really upbeat, catchy song. I know that a lot of fans were complaining about Paul's lyrics, which they have a right to do sometimes. But in this song, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's go for a drive. Simple lyrics, but it's a fun song. And nobody really complained much about Hello Goodbye. You say yes, I say no. Those kind of lyrics. Same kind of idea, right? Tiny Bubble, so catchy. And once again, reading reviews, some people are saying, you know, should have kept that off of the album. It's like, why? It's a classic Paul McCartney song in my books. Back in the Sunshine Again is excellent. Your Loving Flame is beautiful. Rinse the Raindrops. At first it was the final song until he tacked on Freedom, unfortunately. But Rinse the Raindrops is over 10 minutes and it's a rockin' song, and there's different change-ups in it. The tempo changes and he's really belting it out. And there's one scream that Paul does, which is one of the greatest screams in a song I've ever heard. I just absolutely love this album. I still admit, even for a... See, that's the thing. I'm listening to it on the CD, usually, not on the vinyl. But it is still a long album, right? So I think... Yeah, I don't know what I would take off, because every song for me is great. So I'm happy with it the way it is, but it's a long listen, even if you enjoy it. So in my ranking, you're not going to go crazy, don't worry, but I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. And the production too, excellent production. He has Abe Laboriel Jr. on drums from his band, and Rusty Anderson, who's been in his band for many, many years. And like I said, the production is excellent. And so in my ranking, it's going above Red Rose Speedway, which I absolutely love, into 7th place, just behind London Town. And that is it. I would love your thoughts on Driving Rain in the comment section below. And if you haven't heard this album, I would say check out, I don't know, Back in the Sunshine Again. Or if you want to see Paul being a little more experimental and crazy, Rinse the Raindrops. And speaking of the final track, kind of tacked on, Freedom, I understand, you know, he wrote it soon after 9/11. It's a very simple song, which, of course, people are going to complain about the lyrics, which they have a right to. But still, it is catchy. But it's definitely not one of my favorite Paul McCartney songs. And I kind of wish it hadn't been tacked on to the album. But that's it. I would love your thoughts on Driving Rain. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like the video. Goodbye. Have a great day.